Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going back in time, back to the 17th century,
Ooh.
to explore a world
Okay.
of natural philosophy and the occult.
Sounds good.
Our guide for this little adventure is Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa,
Okay.
and we'll be looking at excerpts from his fascinating text, 3 books of occult philosophy.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you familiar?
A little bit, yeah.
It can be a little dense.
It is, yeah. It's
Yeah.
dense. It's a tough read, but super interesting.
It is.
A lot of really great insights into how the elements and the stars
Correct.
and all of nature were thought to hold these hidden powers.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to try to uncover. Agrippa suggests there might even be ways to influence things,
Okay.
like love, health, or even the weather,
Wow.
using natural objects in celestial alignment.
I mean, it's really interesting when you think about it,
Yeah.
how these ideas, while rooted in a very different worldview,
Right.
still resonate with our fascination with these, like, unseen forces in the universe.
Yeah, there's something there. It makes you wonder about the connections between the natural world and maybe something beyond.
Definitely.
So Agrippa starts by emphasizing fire and earth as the foundation
Okay.
of all these wondrous operations, as he calls them.
Mm-hmm.
Fire being the active force and earth being the passive one.
Makes sense.
His descriptions of fire are so vivid.
Yeah. How does he describe it?
He describes it as bright,
Okay.
mysterious, boundless,
Mm-hmm.
renewing, enlightening, and powerful.
A lot of imagery there.
Yeah.
And he differentiates between celestial fire, which is life-giving,
Right.
and infernal fire, which consumes.
Yeah.
So it's like he's highlighting that dual nature of energy.
Yeah.
A concept that's still relevant today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we still talk about burning with passion or being consumed by anger.
Right, exactly.
And it makes you think about how these elemental concepts are just woven into our language
Yeah,
and our thinking even centuries later.
totally.
And it's not just fire.
Okay.
Agrippa also talks extensively about water and its transformative power.
Interesting.
You know, he highlights its connection to growth and change.
Okay.
And he brings up some pretty curious examples, like a river
Okay.
that supposedly only flows on the Sabbath,
Wow.
or springs with the power to cure diseases.
Really?
I mean, we might approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism,
Of course, yeah.
but it does make you wonder what people were observing and experiencing back then.
Yeah, definitely.
What stands out to you from those descriptions?
I think what's fascinating is how these examples illustrate this like deep reverence people had for the natural world. They saw these elements not just as physical substances,
Right.
but as imbued with these mysterious powers.
Yeah, like a power beyond
Yeah.
what we can see or feel.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got these foundational elements, fire and water,
Right.
each with their own unique properties and symbolism.
Yeah.
But Agrippa doesn't stop there.
He keeps going.
Oh, yeah. He introduces air as the vital spirit that connects and moves all things.
Okay, interesting.
But he goes further, suggesting that air actually contains a kind of imprint, a species, he calls it,
Okay.
of everything,
Everything.
including our thoughts and even our spoken words.
Okay, now I'm really curious about this idea of species in the air.
Yeah.
What exactly did Agrippa mean by that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And how did he think it worked?
So it's a bit like an early concept of information transmission.
Okay.
He believed that these species,
Mm-hmm.
these subtle impressions of things,
Right.
could
Yeah.
travel through the air.
So they're just like floating around.
Yeah, and influence dreams, divinations, and even communication across long distances.
Wow. So it's almost like a pre-scientific idea of the internet,
Yeah.
where information is constantly being transmitted and received through this invisible medium.
That's a great analogy. And while we might not subscribe to the idea of species literally,
Right.
it does make you think about the unseen ways we might be connected.
Yeah.
And how our thoughts and words might have an impact beyond our immediate surroundings.
Totally. Even something as simple as like leaving a voicemail relies on these unseen species in a way.
He even gives this incredible example of how the south wind can shape clouds into formations that look like castles,
Wow.
mountains, or even people. It's like nature's own shadow puppet show.
That's amazing.
It speaks to a worldview where the boundaries between the physical and the immaterial
Yeah,
were much more fluid.
definitely.
And thinking about dreams, if we follow Agrippa's logic, could these species in the air be influencing our dreams, giving them shape or meaning?
Interesting thought.
That's a thought-provoking idea, especially for those who believe dreams can offer insights or messages.
It definitely encourages us to think beyond our conventional understanding of how information and energy might be transmitted and received.
And this is just the beginning.
There's more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Agrippa takes us even deeper, suggesting that these elements exist not just in physical objects, but also in stars, devils, angels, and even God.
Wow, he's going all in on the elements.
It's like he's saying the entire universe is built from these fundamental building blocks.
That's a big statement.
It is.
So he's saying everything is made up of these elements.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does that work with things like stars and angels?
He describes fiery planets like Mars and Sol, watery signs like Cancer and Pisces. There's this idea of infernal rivers that represent different elements.
Okay.
It's like a cosmic elemental chart.
This is pretty complex.
It is. It sounds like he's painting this incredibly intricate tapestry, weaving together elements, celestial influences, and all these unseen forces.
Yeah, very detailed.
And this is still just the foundation of his thinking.
Really? So where does he go from here?
Well, next we're going to delve into Agrippa's concept of occult virtues.
Occult virtues.
Hidden potentials that exist beyond the basic elements.
So there's even more to this.
Oh, yeah. It's like he's suggesting there's another layer of reality.
Okay.
Another level of power and potential waiting to be unlocked.
Now I'm even more intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to hear about these occult virtues.
Let's dive into those occult virtues in the next part of our deep dive.
So these occult virtues are like hidden potentials beyond those basic elements, like superpowers within nature.
Okay.
Waiting to be discovered and utilized.
So it's not just fire, water, earth, and air.
Right. It goes deeper.
There's something more. What exactly are these occult virtues? How do they work?
Well, imagine a magnet. It attracts metal.
Right.
That's an obvious property. But Agrippa believed there might be other properties.
Okay.
Hidden properties, occult virtues that we haven't discovered yet. Maybe there's a way to make that magnet attract something besides metal.
Oh, interesting.
If we knew how to access its hidden potential.
That's a great way to explain it. It's like there's a whole secret code to the universe.
Right.
And if we can crack it, we can tap into these incredible powers.
Exactly.
What kind of examples does Agrippa give for these occult virtues?
He talks about things like the ability to expel poison,
Okay.
the power to attract iron, even the unique properties of the phoenix, which is said to be reborn from its own ashes.
Right. I remember reading about that. He mentioned some pretty wild examples like ostriches being able to digest iron.
Yeah.
Or the Achenis fish, which he claims can stop a ship in its tracks just by touching it.
Yeah.
Those sound almost like myths or legends.
Right. And it's important to remember that Agrippa was drawing on centuries of folklore, alchemy, and natural philosophy.
Yeah.
While we might not take these examples literally today,
Right.
they do offer insights into how people viewed the natural world and its potential.
So it's not necessarily about the literal truth of the examples. It's more about the underlying concept.
Yeah.
That there might be these undiscovered powers.
Yes.
These hidden connections that we haven't fully grasped yet.
Exactly. And this connects to a core idea in Agrippa's work, celestial influence.
Okay.
He believed that the stars and planets actually influence the properties and virtues of everything on Earth.
So it's like the cosmos is shaping our world in ways we might not even be aware of. Tell me more about this celestial influence. How did he think it worked?
He used this idea of seminal forms. It's like a blueprint from the cosmos.
Okay.
He believed that the soul of the world, this kind of universal life force, used these celestial shapes to imbue objects with their specific properties.
So the stars aren't just twinkling up there. They're actively shaping the world around us.
Yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is a powerful concept.
It is.
And he gives specific examples. A lion's courage, a hare's timidity, the swiftness of a horse, all these qualities are attributed to specific celestial influences.
Wow.
It's like saying your astrological chart might not just describe your personality,
Yeah.
it might be actively influencing it.
So are we just puppets of the cosmos then? Are fates predetermined by the stars?
Not necessarily. Agrippa believed we have the potential to work with these celestial influences.
Okay.
He even suggests methods for harnessing natural and celestial powers to our advantage. It's like saying, we're not just shaped by the stars. We can learn to dance with them.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How do we learn these cosmic dance moves?
Right. How do we actually harness these powers?
Yeah.
Agrippa suggests using objects that are associated with specific stars or planets to attract their influence.
Okay.
This is the basis of what we call talismanic magic.
Interesting.
For example, he says pigeon hearts can be used to attract love.
Pigeon hearts for love.
lion hearts for boldness,
Okay.
or objects from long-lived animals to promote longevity.
Some of those ingredients sound pretty hard to come by.
They do. I can't imagine trying to find a frog's tongue before sunrise, as he suggests for certain rituals.
No, me neither. That's a tough one. But the key takeaway here is that Agrippa believed in a very real connection between the celestial realm and our earthly existence.
Absolutely.
It's almost like early alchemy, right? Trying to find the right combinations of ingredients to create desired effects.
And the challenge, according to Agrippa, is finding the right matter, what he calls opportunely fitted matter.
Opportunely fitted matter.
The right harmony between objects and celestial influences is crucial for achieving the desired outcome.
So it's not just about finding the right ingredients.
No.
It's about understanding their deeper connections and using them at the right time and in the right way.
Yes, it's about aligning with those cosmic energies.
So are we talking about something like energy
Mm-hmm.
or frequency? Is that what Agrippa is getting at with this opportunely fitted matter?
It's a fascinating way to think about it. He provides the example of using objects associated with the sun, like gold or sunflowers, to attract the sun's virtue.
Okay.
It's almost like tuning a radio to the right frequency.
To pick up a specific signal?
Exactly.
So it's not just about blindly following recipes or formulas.
No, it's about understanding the principles behind them.
It's about understanding the underlying principles and then applying them with intention and awareness. Are you saying we need to be more attuned to these celestial frequencies,
I think that's a key part of it.
to the rhythms of nature, to really tap into these powers?
Agrippa seems to suggest that alignment is key.
Alignment is key.
He even goes so far as to suggest we can attract not just virtues, but even life itself.
Wait, attracting life from the stars. Now that's pushing the boundaries of what I thought was possible.
Well, no, it gets really interesting.
It does. This is where it gets really interesting.
Yes, it does.
Let's unpack that idea in the next part of our deep dive. So we're talking about attracting not just virtues or hidden powers from the stars, but actual life, and even a sensible soul. That's a huge concept. How did Agrippa even approach that idea?
Well, it ties into this alchemical concept of creating life in the laboratory.
Right.
It was believed that by harnessing the right elements under the right celestial influences, one could potentially generate life itself.
It almost sounds like science fiction.
Right.
But I guess those lines were pretty blurred back then. So what did Agrippa believe was the key to this process? What was the secret ingredient?
He talked about the quintessence,
Quintessence.
this fifth element, beyond the four we've already discussed: fire, water, air, earth.
Right.
It's described as the celestial power flowing from the heavens, a kind of pure life force.
So by tapping into this quintessence, you could imbue something with life. What kind of examples did he use to illustrate this idea?
He uses the example of bees creating honey.
Oh.
They take nectar from countless flowers and transform it into this single substance that embodies the virtues of all those flowers.
Right.
It's like they're concentrating the essence of life itself.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think about the potential for transformation,
Yeah.
for taking something simple and turning it into something extraordinary.
And Agrippa seems to suggest that human ingenuity, combined with these natural elements and celestial alignments, could unlock even greater potential. He believed we could create things that mimic or even surpass the wonders of nature.
It's fascinating how Agrippa's ideas, while rooted in 17th century thinking, still spark our imagination today.
They do.
They push us to think about the limits of possibility, about the hidden connections between the cosmos and our own existence.
And even if we don't subscribe to his ideas literally,
Right.
they offer valuable insights into a time when people were actively seeking to understand and harness the hidden forces of the universe.
It's like a glimpse into a different way of seeing the world, a world where magic and science were intertwined, and the boundaries of possibility were constantly being explored.
Agrippa's 3 books of occult philosophy is a treasure trove of these kinds of insights.
It is.
It challenges us to expand our understanding of what's possible and to consider the interconnectedness of all things.
From the elements to the stars, to the power of our own minds, Agrippa's work reminds us that there's always more to discover,
Yeah,
more to learn, more to wonder about.
absolutely.
So what resonates with you most from Agrippa's ideas? What aspects of his work would you like to investigate further?
That's a good question.
Keep those questions in mind as you continue your own exploration of the mysteries of the natural world and the power of the human mind. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.